Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna, and today I want to do some de-influencing of some popular products that I find either underwhelming or straight up bad. I made a similar video a while back about fragrance, so today I want to go over skincare and makeup. I know this is the second video in a row that's not fragrance related, but fret not, I'm in the middle of testing a bunch of perfumes for 2 videos, including my long-awaited Angel Share dupe deep dive. I don't have all the products that I'm going to mention with me today because usually I have friends that'll take products I don't like, so I won't be able to show you a lot of my issues with them, but I'm going to try to go into as much detail as possible so that you can decide if it's a product you want to avoid or not. So with that out of the way, let's get started on some popular skincare that just does not work for me. First up is the cosrx Advanced Snail Mucin Power Essence. I don't think this is necessarily a bad product. I just don't think it's great. For me, at least. For reference, I have really dry skin and I typically go for products that are very hydrating and will make my skin look very glowy. And that's what I thought this product would do, but unfortunately, it just did not live up to my expectations. Instead of absorbing into my skin, I feel like it just kind of sits on top and stays really sticky. So it does make me look a little bit glowy, but my skin doesn't actually feel hydrated. I still have nearly a whole bottle, so I'm gonna keep using it on days that my skin isn't doing too badly, but I absolutely will not be repurchasing this. It does absolutely nothing for me. Staying on track with K-Beauty, the next product is the VT Reedle shot. This comes in 4 strengths or concentrations. I have the second strongest, which is 100. This was marketed to me as microneedling in a cream form, and its purpose is to make your other skincare penetrate deeper into your skin. On top of my skin being dry, it's also quite sensitive, so a lot of harsher skincare just doesn't work for me. I started using this pretty slowly, once every 4 to 5 days, and the first time I used it, I did not like it. It was like I could feel each individual Reedle poking into my skin, and there was definitely a little bit of redness and irritation, which thankfully faded within 5 to 10 minutes. After I used it a couple more times, I stopped feeling that kind of prickly sensation, but once I started using it more consistently every day or every other day, my skin could not keep up with the irritation. It ended up just drying me out and doing the complete opposite of what I was hoping it would do, which is make my hydrating products be more hydrating. And you might say, well, just use it less frequently. And I did that, but unfortunately, if I use it less, I just feel like it does nothing. It just becomes an extra step in my skincare routine that is ultimately useless. I am going to keep experimenting with it, but after I finish this bottle, I will not be purchasing a new one. Next up are the Laneige lip sleeping masks. Now, to be fair, I have only tried one like 7 or 8 years ago, so maybe things have changed. But when I did first try it, I was severely unimpressed. Again, I have dry skin and that includes the skin on my lips. So I bought this thinking, oh, when I wake up in the morning, my lips are going to be so supple. But I was wrong. The smell was great. I think it was something like vanilla, but no joke. I put it on and within 10 minutes, it was gone. Now, do I rub my lips together more than most people? I think so, yes. But 10 minutes? Really? How can you call that a lip sleeping mask if it's gonna disappear in 10 minutes before you even fall asleep? It's at most a lip balm. For me. It was so underwhelming to me that I literally have not been able to look at Laneige the same since, though I have tried their water bank toner recently and I did really like that. Maybe the formulation of the lip masks has improved since I first tried it, so if that is the case, please do let me know. The last K-Beauty skincare product I want to mention does make me a little bit sad because I really wanted to love it, and that is Beauty of Joseon's Dynasty Cream. I do love the texture and the overall glow it gives my skin, but unfortunately, it breaks me out pretty immediately after using it. I did try it multiple times to confirm because I am always trying so many new products, but every time I would use it in the morning, by the evening, I would have a breakout. I ended up giving it to a friend who really loves it, but if you have acne-prone skin, I would suggest getting a sample or a smaller container before committing to a full bottle. All right, stepping away from K-Beauty, we have First Aid Beauty's Ultra Repair Cream. First of all, I cannot stand the smell. It smells like there was an apocalypse that wiped out like 2/3 of the population and you're scavenging in people's abandoned houses and you find a bottle of baby powder that's been sitting for 30 years. Okay, just absolutely dusty, musty baby powder. I don't generally love the smell of baby powder, but it's usually not so abhorrent to me as it is here. However, as much as I hate the smell, I could have gotten over it if I liked the product. Unfortunately, it does nothing for me. It's somehow super thick, but not hydrating at all, and it makes my skin feel even more dry after I've used it. I always hear people talking about how great this product is, but I just don't get it. Maybe for some people it'll give you the hydration that you need, but if you're looking for hydration and a dewy glow, it's not going to do that for you. In the same vein as the First Aid Beauty Cream is The Ordinary's Natural Moisturizing Factors and Hyaluronic Acid Cream. It's not as thick as the First Aid Beauty Cream, but they both have this weird dry finish on my skin. I genuinely feel like for me, it's better to use nothing than to use either of these creams. I don't really have much to say about this because basically all of my complaints of the First Aid Beauty Cream can be applied to this, so just go back and listen to that and you'll know what I think. The next product is important for those of you out there who, like me, have allergies to American Chemical sunscreen filters. The Vacation Classic Whip sunscreen has a beautiful dewy finish, but unfortunately after a few days of using it, I noticed that I was having a mild allergic reaction to it. I can definitely use it for a day or two without any issues, but more than that and my skin will become inflamed and start to peel. If you also have sensitivities to American Chemical UV filters, I would highly recommend checking out Korean or Japanese sunscreen instead. I have never tried an American Chemical sunscreen that hasn't irritated my skin, and on the flip side, there has only ever been one Korean product that has given me mild irritation, and that is the Face Shop Air Cotton Makeup Base. And even then, this only irritates my skin if it's a really hot day out and my sweat mixes with it. I say even then as if like you shouldn't be sweating from your face. Sweat happens, whatever, but like I'm saying that I can use this normally and I don't have any issues. I totally forgot I used to use the Neutrogena Hydro Boost sunscreen years ago before I knew much about K-beauty, and it worked fine. I never had any allergic reactions. However, I had to stop using it because it tasted so bad. Now you might be wondering, why were you eating it? Obviously not on purpose. If I applied it anywhere near my mouth and I licked my lips at any point during the day, I would have the most disgusting taste in the back of my throat for the rest of the day. Just imagine the worst chemical taste. That's what it tasted like. And I've noticed that taste in a lot of American Chemical UV filters, so I don't know what they're doing, but they need to stop. My best recommendations would be the Beauty of Joseon Relief Sun and the Skin 1004 Madagascar Centella Hyalucica Water Fit Sun Serum. That's a fucking mouthful of a name. But keep in mind that both of them have quite a dewy finish, so if you have really oily skin or just prefer a matte finish, there are plenty of other Korean sunscreens that might be better suited for you. Now let's move on to makeup. I don't try as much makeup as I do skincare, so this list is much shorter. The product that I'm starting off with might shock you, and it definitely shocked me how much I hated it, and that is Charlotte Tilbury's Hollywood Flawless Filter. I don't know if I made it clear in this video, but I am the queen of dewy skin. All of my skincare has a dewy finish, and even in terms of foundation, it has to have at least a radiant finish, if not dewy. I had heard about the Hollywood Flawless Filter and how beautiful it was from so many people, including people in my real life, so I decided to pick it up in the lightest shade. I think normally I wouldn't be so hateful of this product, but considering the price and considering how many people I've heard raving about it, it made me so angry when I first used it. It did not make me look dewy. It made me look greasy. And to make it worse, even the lightest shade was too dark for me, which I think I could have gotten away with if the finish was more natural. But because it looked so greasy, it made the shadowed parts of my face look even darker in comparison to the highlighted parts of my face. I've already returned it at this point, but if I have some videos showing what it looks like on my skin, I'll include them here. Okay, I tried the Hollywood filter again. Why does it look like that? It just looks greasy, bro. I just look insane. Like, people don't wear it like this, do they? But again, I could have gotten over this because it was only a slight shade mismatch, and with the right concealers, with the right blushes, you can kind of make it work. However, it emphasized every single texture on my face. Every bump, every line, every crater, and every single dry patch. I know I'm not a baby anymore, okay? I'm 27, your face starts changing, you know, you start getting lines. It's fine, I get that. But I don't want my makeup to be making me look older. And when I say older, I don't mean more mature, more put together, I mean aged. Forget the Hollywood Flawless Filter and instead get the Beauty Blender Bounce Skin Tint. This is nowhere near as dewy, or in my case, greasy as the Hollywood Flawless Filter, but it has such a natural, radiant finish and it doesn't make my skin look worse. Next up is another fan favorite, and that is Clinique's Almost Lipstick in Black Honey. I don't think I have ever been so underwhelmed by a product before. I wish I still had it with me so I could show you, but I did end up giving it to a friend who does really like it, but it straight up looks like nothing on me. I knew it would be sheer, okay? But at least if there was something, like maybe a little bit of gloss, a little bit of pigment, but there's neither. If I press my naked lips together hard enough, it will literally give me the exact same effect as using this product. And on top of that, it fades almost immediately, though I've had that issue with every single Clinique lip product I've tried, so it's not unique to this. There are just so many sheer lip balms that are either better than this or the exact same for a fraction of the price. I just don't think it's worth it at all. I really don't understand the hype, and I never will. Staying on the lip product train, next is not a specific product, more a type of product, and that is plumping lip glosses. I don't know if it's the shape of my lips, the color of my lips, or my overall complexion. Plumping lip glosses make me look so stupid. They can look great on other people, but when I use one, I look like a child that just finished eating a bowl of spaghetti and didn't know to wipe my face. I don't have any plumping glosses with me right now because I gave them all to my friends, but I will include some little clips from older TikToks that I've made. I'm gonna leave this to sit for 5-ish minutes and I will be back to show you what my lips look like. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. The burning has finally subsided. This is what my lips look like. I don't love it, but if you want a plumped look, then I'm sure this is great for you. To me, it just looks so messy and unfinished. You might think it looks great on me, and that's very kind of you. I, however, cannot stand it. And on top of that, again, every single plumping gloss I've tried fades after like 10 minutes. As someone that doesn't like the products, that's fine for me, but if you want a plumping effect, I can assume you'd want it to last longer than 10 minutes. The last lip product I want to mention is the Judydoll Ice Watery Lip Gloss. In general, I do like this product. It has a really nice smoothing gloss in a beautiful color. Mine is in Sunset Black Tea, but I have two issues with it. First, it's supposed to be transfer proof and long lasting, and it fades very quickly. I put this on before I started filming. It's been about 40 minutes. Compare how my lips look now to how they looked at the beginning of the video. All I've been doing is sitting here talking. I haven't eaten anything. All I did was take a couple sips from here, and it already has faded so significantly. But you can always reapply it, so whatever. My second and more frustrating issue is how finicky it is. There are days when I use this and I have absolutely no problem, but if I have even the smallest of dry patches, it becomes patchy and it sticks to all the dryness, and it forms these tiny little pigmented dots all over my mouth, and it looks horrible. I think it comes down to the fact that this is supposed to be a transfer proof formula, but I have to layer it multiple times, especially because there's only a tiny bit of product on the actual applicator. So I have to go back in 3 or 4 times to get the right shade. And if I don't work fast enough, then the particles that have already set more start mixing in with the new layers. When it works, it's great. It's just not the easiest product to work with. The final thing I want to mention is another Judydoll product, and that is their 3D Curling Iron Mascara. Maybe my lashes just aren't the right fit for this product, because although I have straight lashes, they are quite long, and there are so many other mascaras that have a more significant effect. This might work better for you if you have shorter and more sparse lashes. Since it doesn't have bristles, I really struggle to coat the lashes on the outer corners of my eyes, and before I use it, I have to brush out my lashes with an eyelash brush because this just cannot do it itself. I also got it in brown, and it's unfortunately just a little bit too warm toned and clashes with my natural hair color. My last complaint is that it is really hard to remove. It does come off a bit more easily if I'm using something like a cotton pad soaked in makeup remover, but generally I'm using cleansing balms and cleansing oils to remove my makeup, so it just feels a little bit inconvenient for me to change my routine for a product that I don't even really like. It's nice for days that I'm not doing a full face of makeup but still want a little bit of something on my lashes, but even then I have the Romand Tangle Fix mascara that I like way better. It's super lengthening but still natural looking, and I got it in the color Long Ash, which I find just suits my natural complexion a lot more. So that is everything today. I hope you enjoyed, and I would love to hear your thoughts. I did recently pick up a bunch of fragrance samples of Gourmands on my wish list, so I will be updating you with my thoughts on those, and of course keep an eye out for my Angel Share dupe deep dive. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.